Hey guys, I hope that all of you are doing great. Welcome in this third video of the trade breakdown series. So if you don't know what the trade breakdown series is, I will put the link of the first episode of that series below so you can go watch it, and this is where I explain everything you need to know about that type of videos. So if you follow me on Instagram, you know that a few days ago I took a trade on USDCHF. I'll put the screenshot right here, and you can also follow me on Instagram right there, right? So basically I took this trade a few days ago and I closed this trade this morning, about 1 hour ago, and now I'm recording the trade breakdown video for you guys to show you what happened in that trade, why I closed the trade, etc, etc. So if you would like to know more about how I trade, how I do my analysis, how I'm able to be a profitable trader, well, that is the second link below. It will take you directly on the website of my trading course, and that is where I teach my students on a daily basis how I trade. I work with them directly as well, so it is definitely a great community that we have, and you can be sure that I always give my best to mentor them the best way I can, and we've seen very good results from many of our students, so I'm really happy with that. And so if you are interested in learning more in depth about how we trade, well, that is the second link below, like I said. So let's not waste more time and jump right into today's topic. We had a USDCHF trade that ended up as a good trade, so I will show you my screen right now and we will see all of the things about that trade. So let's just jump right into it. Okay, so let's now take a look at this USDCHF trade. So we have this impulse right here on the big picture. We had a 1, 2, 3 here. We have another impulse. We're having another correction there. And because of what we had seen in the internal structure of that correction, well, there was a lot of sign that this was actually going back up like this. And that possibility still exists, but we also have an internal structure that is showing us that we may see more downside before this actually happens, right? And just one thing I want to make sure is clear as well is that I don't take trade just because of a trading tool or because we break a line or like whatever. Like, it's a lot more complex than that, right? It's about understanding the fundamentals of the market structure, the price action, the patterns it creates, and all of these things. And keep in mind that, you know, I don't go too much into details here because normally that type of analysis is reserved for my students. So here it's really more to give you guys just an overview of what I was looking at, and I'm still sure that you will get a lot of value just as I always try to bring, right? So let's now go on the lower time frame and see what happened there. So we basically had 3 waves here in that structure. We had this first one, we had this second one, which was broken down into 3 waves pattern, and then we have this down move, which was breaking down as a 5 waves pattern. And when we were around these levels, we had many confirmations that this was probably the end of the whole structure and that we were going up like this. So with that forecast in mind, then I went on the 1 hour, and after I took the trade when we broke out of this pattern right here, right? So the trade was actually taken last week, at the end of last week on the 2nd of August, and today we are the 8th of August, and I just closed the trade this morning, like I said. So I took the trade, it went a little up, we had the pullback. This means nothing, right? Just one wave here doesn't mean anything about the direction of the market. We got another upside, and then we broke out of the trend last morning more. So at this point, when we broke out of that trend, we knew that 2 possibilities exist, and these 2 possibilities still exist, and you will see that is why I closed the trade. So one possibility is that this actually will go back down totally here to make one more low in that wave down before the total upside, right? Once again, there are many reasons for that, and we will not explain all of them today, but just know that, you know, it could go down right here around this level and then go back up. That is one possibility. The other possibility is that this actually turns out to be one up wave, and here you are making a more complex correction. So the other possibility is that you just come down here, breaking this level, and then seeing more upside. So these are pretty much the 2 possibilities that I'm looking at. One other is that it could also develop into a bigger correction. So for example, it could do something like this, and then you see the downside, and after that downside, this is when you will go back up and see the upside. So there are many possibilities on how this thing can develop, but if you saw, the common things about all of them is that short term it's downside, which is why I closed the trade. It's one of the big reasons. So basically this is where my entry was, and I closed the trade this morning at this level of these purple line, and you see that it's already starting to go back down, right? So that was a really good trade. I made 1.2% growth of my trading account, which is really good for a short-term trade. Like I said, we had a long-term perspective, but that trade ended up as a short-term trade, so that was pretty good. And then now, well, we just have to see what will happen, because I'm no longer in the trade, and the next trade that I will take on this pair will depend on what we have after on the structure. So like I said, if we get, for example, something like this and then it goes back up, well, I will just have to re-enter the trade for this upside. And if we get the downside, I'm personally not interested into selling the downside for many reasons, but one of them is that there is no long-term perspective on that. The long-term perspective is upside, and so I'm not interested in selling this at all. So the only thing I am waiting now is another buy opportunity. And so yeah, that's pretty much why I closed the trade, like I said, because we will see probably more downside on the short term, and so I wanted to close some profit here. And if it actually turns out to, you know, just be a pattern for more upside after, then I will just have to re-enter the trade, and I will be once again in a good buy trade. So that's pretty much it for the trade breakdown of the USDCHF trade that ended up as a great trade. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching once again. I hope that this helped you. If it did, please leave a like under the video. I will truly appreciate it. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel and share the video with another trader, right? Because if it helped you, well, it may also help other people. And I would like to more people seeing these videos, because I think that they have a lot of value inside them, right? So thank you so much for watching. Trade with care, take care, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.